Hi, my name is Joshua, and welcome to Discipleship New Edition. Um, yeah, welcome to the podcast. This is my first episode, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for clicking on the video. It's been a long time, but we're finally doing this. I had this in the works since I think late 20, early 2024, like around summer, and it was a lot of challenges and there was a lot of things that didn't work out, but we could talk about that in another time in another video. But today, I just want to give you my testimony before we hop in to a lot of different topics. This channel is to help you further your relationship with Christ, help you understand who God really is, and just understand who God calls us to be in this life. Those are the main topics I want to talk about on this podcast. And yeah, so that's why I made this podcast. It says in Matthew to go baptize and make disciples of all nations. And I want to really continue to do that and continue to show people the truth, show people the light at the end of the tunnel. I know it's a lot of people struggling out there. I know it's a lot of people that's going through heartache, going through suffering, and don't know what to do next. But I'm here to tell you that there is a God that's worth serving. There is a God that calls you into peace, into truth, into things that you probably never heard about, or even in the world, they love to not tell you these things because they want you to think about only yourself and be in a selfish state and just continue to be, blinded by it and sensitive about a lot of different hard topics that people really don't want to know about. That's why I want to talk about this. I want to talk about all these different topics and these things. But today I want to talk about my testimony video, my testimony and why I came to Christ, how I came to Christ. It was a lot of different events that was going on in the past few years. And I guess it was all God's timing for this moment right here. So I'm gonna just hop in. I'm gonna just hop into my episode. So I think this all started around like senior year of high school. Senior year of high school was one of those great American TV shows, movies, and it was like I had the girl in my dreams. I was on the baseball team. I was like captain and girlfriend at the time. She was everything I ever dreamed of. She was beautiful. She was always talented. She was always loving and caring to other people. So, she always had my heart. And I feel like that made me always wanted to be with her and always wanted to pursue her and constantly just spend time with her than do other things in my life. Like it was a point in time when I didn't really do things for my family, do things for my friends, do things um with my career, my talents. I didn't really do anything like that because my mindset was like, I just want, I just want to be with you. I just wanted to continue our relationship. So out of sense, I had her like in a big position in my life. I had her in the center. And forget God, like I said before, it was no God. It was no it was no God, it was no friends, it was no family, but it was only her. And I think that really killed me because now I'm making her in an idol. I was trying to serve her because I was always trying to please her and please the relationship. I was never trying to please anything else. So it's like I realized that my call right now, my call for life was to serve God, but like I decided to put her as a God in my life. And probably could relate to that. That really killed me. So I was doing that a lot and my friends noticed too. And I was losing friends, I was losing people because I wasn't really focused on that type of friendship. I wasn't focused on that. I was only focused on her. So that killed a lot of my friendships and that killed a lot of things in my life. I was lazy, I was sluggish. I didn't want to do anything. If I wasn't with her, I'm chilling in my bed, doing whatever on TikTok, on Instagram. I really didn't like mind because it's like I thought If I had her, I'm set. I don't need anything else in the world. Like if I have this girlfriend, she was beautiful, amazing, like that's all I need in life, and I'm cool and I'm good. So so that was my mindset. So that made me slip more and more. I wasn't really going to practice like that. I was just like I wasn't thinking about my future at all. And I was just thinking about her. And it got to a point that it ended. Um she broke up with me, and she had her reasons why, and I'm gonna respect that. And I didn't realize back then, but now I realize who I was as a boyfriend and as a person. And I was not the best at all. I was immature. I was, like I said, lazy. I wasn't the best. And she saw that, and she ended up breaking up with me. And I killed everything in my life. When I say killed everything, it felt like a shotgun to the back. It felt like a big knife, like cut me right in my heart. And it was just crazy to me because like I didn't think I was gonna be in this state. I didn't think that we was gonna break up. I had just gone, I had done a lot of things for her family the other day, like last week. We was talking about marriage, we was talking about this and that, and it was like I wasn't I wasn't guarding my heart because I'm thinking about the future, and I'm doing things with her that's so emotionally deep and emotionally attaching that like once we was trying to detach, I couldn't because we're too intertwined at this point in my perspective. Now, her doing what she had to do was valid and it was respectable, but it was just hard to detach. It was definitely hard to detach. And yeah, so I think that what really killed me, and it just made me realize that I can't put a person that much into my life. Like I gotta respect, I gotta have boundaries. I gotta make sure that it's some type of respecting. Like I can't continue this because it's like if you continue to do that, you're gonna continue to like you're just gonna continue to leave your heart open and exposed to a lot of different hurt and a lot of different things. Because we're not perfect. It's only a matter of time until we mess up. So that being said, it's like you put in all this affection and emotion and talking about the future, talking about marriage, talking about like this and that with your partner, is where's that leaving you when probably something comes up in life? Because life hits you like that. Something could come up the next day, and you guys might have to break up. But now you're too emotionally intertwined. It's like that's gonna even kill you even more if you're trying to detach and unattach from everything. So I learned a valuable lesson that I can't make other people my gods in my life, you know? And it could be something else. It doesn't have to be a girlfriend. It could be something as easily as your phone. Like like I said before, when I was lazy, all I did was like slide Instagram, TikTok, and time after time again, it's like you can't do anything before you do that. And you wake up and the first thing you do is go on Instagram. The first thing you do is go on social media. And it's like at that point, it's gonna be in the center of your life because if this is removed, say if your phone was taken away for like a week or even like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, like what would you do? What would be your first initial reaction? You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what I'm saying. It's like a drug in some cases, like, and that's what it gives you a high. It gives you something. It gives you satisfaction. And then once you feel that dopamine, you're gonna keep on wanting to do it and keep on wanting to have it. And once it's really gone, that's when you're gonna have that. I forgot the word. You're gonna have that relapse and relapse because you're gonna continue to try to go back on it and be stuck, and now you're not everything is it's gonna be all messed up. And I know that sounds like sometimes it might sound weird, sometimes it might not sound like pleasing to hear, but it's the truth. And you gotta open your eyes to more of what you're actually doing day by day because it's a lot of things that could really affect you. And if you're not aware of that, you're gonna keep on slipping in the same state. You're gonna keep asking the same questions. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I doing this? What am I really doing with my life? Like those questions you're gonna keep asking, and you're not gonna know because you're gonna keep on doing the cycle. And that's one of the things you really gotta focus on is how am I treating this such a person? Or how am I treating these objects in my life, these material things in my life? Am I putting them in the center of my life? Am I putting them before the more important things in my life? You know, and that's what that was the MO. That was something I really had to understand. Even when graduation or prom, I didn't want to go to that. You know, she was gonna be on prom date and stuff like that. So it was like a rough patch I was going through senior year of high school. And that's what a girl does sometimes, you know, because you have them, you let them have that much leeway because now you put so much things into this type of relationship so early on, and it's not healthy. You gotta create boundaries, you gotta create space, you gotta create a sense of like this is what we have, but we gotta protect our hearts and protect whatever might happen in the future. So now deciding what college to go to. I decided to go to City College of New York. It's in Harlem, and I decided to go there. I decided to. I think my first major was like business. I didn't know what to put, so I think I put business. But I was ready. You know what I'm saying? I was ready for the party scene. I was ready to go. It was because it was because like that's all I've been seeing. All I've seen on like movies or shows is like going to college, going away, going to hang out with friends, going to the party, just hanging out, doing those things. So I thought it was okay. And at this time, I was Christian, but I wasn't living out what it says in the Bible, what it says to be Christian. I wasn't living it out at all. But in my head and in the world said just because you believe in God, you're called Christian. That's the biggest thing in this world, and especially in New York. It's like you call yourself Christian just because you believe in God and just because you read a few scriptures and you put John 3:16 in your bio, you're so-called Christian. And so that's something I thought I was. So me thinking like I'm going to this party, I'm going to hang out, I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna smoke, I'm gonna do this and that, it was the whole opposite of the Bible on perspective on living for God and living for Christ. Honestly, I hit up my friend because in the city, you don't really have parties like that. And if you do have parties, like college parties, you got to pay for it. I was not paying for a party. I ain't gonna lie. So I knew my friend, he went upstate, and upstate is a real live party scene. It's something like it's open campus, it's different spots you could go to, house parties, stuff like that. So they had that up there. So I hit him up. I was like, yo, bro, I'm out. When, where, I'm there. I'm definitely there. And he told me it was like, I think it was like Halloween weekend, and I was ready to go. I took the mom's car, driving up there. I'm excited because now I could really live out the life that people always displayed on everything, on social media, on movies. I'm about to live it out. I'm about to go to the party. I'm about to listen to music, dance, drink, and do everything like that. Girls, stuff like that. So that's my mindset. So I'm happy. I'm going to the party, and when I got there, we started pre-gaming. If you know what pre-gaming is, you know what pre-game is. If you don't know what pre-game is, drinking alcohol, oh, they're recording, we're getting lit, like, let's go. It was straight out of a scene. It was straight from like the movies. Like, it was like neon lights, it was a dark room, it was packed, it was high key high. It was, I don't know why it was hot, bro. Everybody in t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? It was so hot for no reason. I started going into the dance circle. I started to like really trying to vibe out and stuff like that. And then people was creating mosh pits, and it was like I was clustered in the middle and stuff like that. And bro, it's crazy. It's crazy because it took one college party to make me really shape my head about life in general. But I had like a sense of an epiphany. Like I'm looking around, I'm like I'm crushed up, I'm hot, I'm sweating, the music playing, but it was like an out of state moment, out of body moment. I'm just looking around and I'm just questioning life. I'm questioning like why am I here? Like what am I doing? Like what's what's going on? Like this can't be what they was talking about. This can't be the reality of the college scene, the college life. Like, it was just, it feels like I was wasting time. I feel like I was wasting my purpose, you know? And I just felt like I felt convicted. I felt like something telling me like, what are you doing? There's so much, it's like so much more. And like I'm like not doing that. And I'm over here just trying to like drink the problems away, smoke the problems away, trying to be temporary with my life. And I always knew like it was heaven and hell. I always knew it was an afterlife. I always knew God was there. So me doing that made me realize like it has to be more to the story than just like going to parties every weekend or just living for girls because I tried to live for a girl in high school that killed me. Now I was trying to live for like drinking and partying, and at that moment it just hit me like like really hard. Those wasn't filling me up. Those wasn't like really satisfying me. And at that moment, I ended up leaving. You know, I left it. I was trying to be there, but I wasn't really there. Um, and throughout the night, I was like I was like still thinking about what I was thinking about when I was in the middle of that scene. And then now, like fast forward, I left the scene. I'm driving back home, and I was still confused. I was still like, dang, like what am I doing? And ever since that, I pray to God. I was like, God, I was like, please, please help me to focus on you more. Please help me get to know you more. And allow me to meet people, you know, in my life that can help me focus on you more. And that prayer like made me wanted to like read my Bible, understand the truth behind a lot of things, and it really helped me. It really shaped me as a person. And I feel like God was just showing me like the false narrative of the world, the false perspective of what we want to do, what we're called to do. Because like that's all we're consumed with, you know, that's all we take in, that's all we see in the celebrities, we see and the idols people love, like everything that we're taking in is a false perspective, a false narrative of life. And life itself. Life is not about parties. Life is not about drinking, smoking. Life is not about hooking up with girls, just getting as much girls as you want. And for the girls out there, life is not about hooking up with guys. That's not what it's about. And you just gotta really sit there and sit with that. You really gotta sit in a state. It was like, so if that's not it, what's life? If me living in this way is like it's not you're not gonna have an everlasting feeling. It's not gonna satisfy you. You're just gonna keep on wanting more and more and more. And it's like it's harming you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these things is gonna harm you. Deep down in a deep state, it's like you want to do it because at the moment it's gonna feel amazing. It's gonna feel good. But later down the line, it's not gonna feel that way anymore. You gotta understand that. That's part one of my video, part one of the testimony video. Just wanted to share my piece and what led me to following God and what led me to the truth. So much to get into, and I can't wait to get into it with you guys. I can't wait to share the gospel and point you back to the Bible. Nothing I say is from my like nothing I say is nothing I say is from what I feel or what I think is true, what I think is right. It's like everything is gonna just point back to this, point back to the Bible, point back to everything Scripture has to say about Jesus, about God, about life in general. That's it. Because that's my standard. That's the way I live. Because I realized I sat there and realized that this right here is worth living for. This right here is worth my life. And I'm like overly blessed that I'm able to do this. A lot of people in the different countries, the third world countries, they have to hide sharing the gospel. They have to go in tunnels and go in different spots so they won't get put to death for reading the Bible or just sharing the gospel. But I'm privileged enough to be able to have a platform, just having a camera, having a mic, and just push, just upload. I could upload things that could reach people in deeper ways, and that's what my mission is with this podcast. It could be one view, it could be two. If it's just even just one person that can help change their perspective on life and the way they live, it's all I care about. That's it. So I just really hope this video blesses you. I hope you gain something new or a different perspective throughout this video. And in part two, I'm gonna talk about my college years after that party and talk to you about how I really got saved and was baptized and why I wanted to keep on like sharing the gospel and make the podcast. But but yeah, I see you guys in the next episode. Peace.